okay?
I know, but it doesn't mean you can look down on a guy. It doesn't matter.
No, it makes no difference. They're a public servant, okay, and I'm entitled to film.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. You've done your bit. You've come in for the information. Okay. You can request that online, as I've said. There's plenty of ways to go.
But as I said, all I wanted was that information, right? And that was it. Okay.
But because of the issues with staff today, I don't think they're willing to provide you with that information now. If you want to make a formal complaint against them, you know that you're well within your rights.
Well, then, if that's the case, if you can go and get that information for me on how I actually go about that,
I can find a website and bits and bobs.
If you can go and do that for me,
equally, I'm sure you can Google it because I'm only going to Google it on my phone.
No, but as I said, not everybody has that information. If you could get that information for me, that'd be most appreciated. And also, if you can actually get me the daily manager's actual name.
Okay. I don't know if I have to provide that to you. I don't believe I will have to do that.
Well, I'm entitled to it.
Okay, well, you can request it then through them.
Okay, yeah.
Again, I know we're a third party here.
No, that's fine. If you can get that information for me, that'd be most appreciated, and I will appreciate that.
Okay.
No worries.
What's the plan going forward now then?
No, as I said, once I had that information, okay, I would have been on my way. I would have been on my way 25 minutes ago. So, and that's all what it was, because I wanted that information. And as I said, I'm not going to be pushed, okay? I'm entitled to defend myself, and all I done was I actually put my arm completely straight 3 times, okay? And as I told you, okay, then when she actually pushed, and I actually done it, she actually tumbled over because she was standing on the edge of the steps, okay? And as I said, I'm not going to say that she didn't fall over, okay? I can tell you that she fell over.
You just have to be careful though, don't you? Because self-defence is to a limit and assault is intentional or reckless behaviour.
Well then here you go. Well then here you go. Okay, well then here you go, okay? They were pushing me and they knew none of that. Yeah? They knew none of that, okay? So when you actually then look at it, okay, what they actually did to me was by far worse.
I don't think so.
Well, yes.
The video opens without warning, dropping us straight into the aftermath of a physical confrontation where the stakes are already high. The auditor is explaining himself to police, alleging that security pushed him first, forcibly straightened his arm, and triggered a moment where a female staff member fell on the steps. There's no shouting, just controlled frustration and a clear legal tension hanging in the air. Was this self-defense, or did things go too far? Police listen without judgment as the foundation of the conflict is laid, instantly pulling the viewer into a situation where the truth is anything but...
Okay?
Fences now.
Yeah, I think it's all... Let me have a check start here.
You can travel far today?
That's irrelevant. That's irrelevant. No, I don't mean that in a bad way. I don't mean that in a bad way.
If you don't want to answer.
But I don't need to answer that. Okay? As I was telling your colleague, okay, I only came down to get some public information. That was it. Okay? And then I had the guy that's in the middle that came out. Okay? When you can't film, I said, right, if you can tell me what the law says that I can't film, then I won't film.
Yeah.
Okay? Not a problem at all. Right? Then he started to push me. Okay, so all I done was I put my arm up, okay, exactly as you would, okay, just put an arm gap in between, okay, which I'm well within my rights to do so, yeah, okay, and then all of a sudden then she came out, same thing, then I had 2 of them pushing me and also grabbing my actual property as well, right, which you know yourself they shouldn't be doing, okay, and then she started pushing back, and then the same thing, she then started pushing and I sort of went like that as well, and she tumbled backwards, okay. Right.
Is this on the steps or?
Yeah, just at the steps, okay? And she tumbled back.
Just trying to get a sense of...
Yeah, okay? And then I hate to say it, but then you got this guy here, old Johnny Big Bollocks, so came flying in, okay? And they started really pushing and pushing and pushing, okay? Now, if they're all security, okay, as you know they are, they should all have their SIA badge on.
I think they've just thrown their jackets on now, so...
Okay, yeah, but that information I am entitled to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just like you asked me, I gave you.
So if you can get that information for me, okay. I know your colleague's going to get some other information for me. If you can actually get their SIA numbers for me, okay, and then I will then actually pass that on to SIA.
Okay.
Okay, and that will be most appreciated.
Yeah. Well, if you want that information, you can try.
Yeah, if you can get that for me. Okay.
Asterisk as the story rewinds. The confrontation becomes clearer and more troubling. The auditor explains he was there for public information and filming. But the moment his rights were questioned, security allegedly escalated things physically. One staff member became two, then more, with pushing, grabbing, and attempts to interfere with his equipment. The critical turning point comes when a female staff member stumbles on the steps during the scuffle, transforming a disagreement into a serious incident. The auditor then demands SIA badge numbers, shifting the focus from argument to accountability.
Be most appreciated.
So, I mean, today we've turned up to get an account from there, an account from you. As soon as that goes, and they'll hopefully they'll be on their way.
That's fine. And as I said to your colleague, okay, I came in to get some information. That was it.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not going to come in, okay, to a place where I can actually come into a public reception, okay, and be pushed. Okay. I'm not going to do that. Okay. I will defend myself. Okay, and I will put that distance in between me and that said individual. And that is what I've done on 5 occasions.
Today?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That is what I've done.
I'm just looking where we can get some shelter.
Okay. So as I said, I'm sorry that you guys got called out. Okay. And it was just a completely needless thing. Now, I go around and I do lots of filming all over the place. And I've never, in all the time I've done it, ever had anything like that. Not once. And I've been doing this about 2.5 years.
What was it that was so bad? Was
okay.
Them in your face?
Yeah, nobody should physically be touching me.
Yeah.
Okay? Even you guys, even when there's a situation going on, you know yourself, it's about diffusing the situation.
Yeah.
Okay, not escalating the situation.
Oh yeah, we'll try and do that with words.
Okay? Yeah. Okay? And exactly as I'm talking to you now, that's how I first started talking to them.
Yeah.
Okay? Until they started pushing me. Once they push me, it becomes a different situation, all in total.
Yeah, like you say, you know. Sorry. Yeah, it's going to change the situation and dynamic, isn't it?
Yeah.
The hands on you. I'll tell you what, it looks a bit drier under here.
Yeah, that's no worry.
I know you got a cap on and stuff.
The tone sharpens as the auditor calmly explains his actions, repeatedly stressing that he didn't advance or attack, but instead placed distance between himself and security multiple times. Drawing on years of filming experience without prior incidents, he argues this situation was entirely unnecessary and avoidable. What stands out is the contrast while security allegedly escalated through physical contact. The police interaction remains calm and professional. His apology to officers reinforces the idea that this encounter spiraled due to poor handling. No,
but as I said, I am sorry that you guys got called out, but
that's fine. As long as you know, there's no injuries or no one's hurt. Yes.
No, well, as I just showed you.
When we first arrived, we weren't sure.
Yeah. Well, as I just told your colleague, okay, and no doubt that they're going, yeah, okay, I push them, blah blah blah. No, I push them in defence, okay, but that's something that they didn't know.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can see that clearly, and that's why I have to have that on. So this is situations in which they need to think about. They can't just randomly push somebody.
Doesn't sound great. I mean, it sounds, by the sounds of it, you've had sort of verbal disagreement. It's been a bit of a push and shove between each other on the stairs. Someone's fallen over. So,
yeah, and that's what it was. But then, as I said, even when the other guy came flying in, okay, the one that went off around there, right?
Grey coat,
yeah.
gentleman.
Okay, he came flying in like Mr. Johnny Big Bollocks, okay, and I will defend myself against it.
Yeah.
Okay, and he came flying in literally like that, full into the chest, okay, and I pushed him back, and there was a couple of pushes for about 2 or 3 minutes.
Shouldn't have to get to that, should it?
No, it shouldn't. It shouldn't. And as I said, I was never expecting it to get like that.
Alright.
So you know yourself, okay? Now you've seen people filming before, yeah? Have you ever actually engaged with anyone before?
Yeah.
Okay, and how did it go?
like we are now.
Nice, straightforward
Try and be
interaction.
civilised between each other.
That's exactly as it should be, okay? While there's a public reception, you should just be helping people, okay? Go boom, 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 and people then will see the good things in which that are happening.
Yeah.
Okay? How do you think that that's going to look? Okay, that doesn't look good.
No.
Okay, now for the way that you guys have so far dealt with it, okay, very professional, very straightforward. You got here, you introduce yourself, you done everything, okay, and we've had a straightforward conversation, completely on the level. That's how all interaction should be, whether or not it's an officer, it's security, whatever. This is how every interaction should be, and this is what people want to see. Yeah, and that's why I say it should be. Okay, it's not always that way.
Tension reaches its highest point as the auditor describes another staff member suddenly charging in, making chest-to-chest contact and turning the situation volatile. Multiple pushes over several minutes paint a picture of a moment that could easily have ended in arrests or injury. Yet even here, the auditor highlights how differently the police are handling the situation now, calmly, respectfully, and without force. That comparison lands hard, underlining that the chaos earlier was not inevitable, but the result of escalation that didn't need to happen.
Like I say, no one wants hands-on, so...
No, nobody does.
I think at this moment in time, I think the colleagues just having a look, because, like I say, we've heard your account, heard their account. I think we're going to try and clear this up with a bit of CCTV. Hopefully it can just give us a bit of enlightenment of, if it is a case of just each other pushing and shoving, then, you know, we'll deal with that.
Yeah, well, just remember, the CCTV is on this side, okay, or wherever the cameras are. I can't even see where the cameras are.
Well, I can't see.
Okay, right, the CCTV, okay.
Is it actually inside? This all sort of took place on the steps?
No, literally on the pavement, just the other side of those two cars there. Okay, and as I said, okay, when he actually comes out, okay, I'm more than happy, okay, depending on what he says, to show you the footage on this.
Was it just a guy? Was it one person when you first dealt with him?
It started with one, and then it went to two, and then it went to four.
Right. Okay. When did the female?
And then it went to fifth. She came out second. Okay. At first, she came out. She was very polite when she first came out.
Yeah.
She was very polite when she first came out. Right. And then the first guy that was there, the one that I showed you that was in the middle over here. Okay, the taller one.
Yeah.
Okay. Then he started pushing, so I pushed back. And then that's when she then started pushing, okay, and grabbing my actual equipment. So, and I repeatedly told her 3 times to let go of my equipment. And I repeatedly said, do not push me. Yeah. And I repeatedly said that I will defend myself and I will push back if you push me.
Yeah.
And that is exactly all what I did.
I mean, you've got more than enough CCTV, I think. Not only their CCTV, you've got your own body worn, so to speak.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they must have had theirs on the whole time. I'm not sure. I don't know if you could have.
Yeah, well, either way, I'll request that information from them, okay, and the same from the main CCTV as well.
Yeah. Alright.
You'd literally, as I said, I've never, ever seen anything like it before. Absolutely bonkers.
Risk as emotions settle. The focus shifts to evidence and accountability. Police explain that CCTV and body-worn cameras will be reviewed, while the auditor confidently points out camera locations and offers his own footage to back up his account. He details how the situation grew from 1 staff member to 5, reinforcing the scale of the escalation. The clip ends without a verdict, leaving the truth in the hands of the cameras, and the viewer with the sense that someone's version of events is about to be tested.